Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tony from our Homestead Skills. Yeah, I'm here. Everything's fine. I've been away because I did have the flu for a while. Like Mark got it, and then I picked it up. And I'm 99% over it, but it's still a little bit in the throat. And that's where it was affecting me the most, was that I had a really sore throat and a mild headache. So it was difficult to talk, so it was difficult to be able to make a video. But like I said, I'm pretty much over it now, thank goodness. And I am just catching up on a few things before we think about leaving. Now we're still planning to be away from here, go down south for 6 months to our Alabama homestead. Got a lot of work cut out for us there. We'll see how much of it we can get done in that amount of time. But meanwhile, I have, being away from here for 6 months, you've got to batten down the hatchets. There's certain things that have to be done. I've had a request to make a double batch of soap for somebody since I'm going to be away for that length of time, and I think that ended up being about 32 bars of soap, so hopefully that should last them till I get back. I think it will. And I've got the last pot of chicken stock on for Mark, and that probably will be adequate for every day before we leave. So the issue, we'd be down there right now if we could, but the issue is that we have already spent so much time this year down south, and we're only allowed 6 months in a 1-year period, so we have to count the days. You don't want to go over. You don't want to create a situation where, we have to drive back in a snowstorm in the winter because we've stayed there too long. The whole idea is to make sure that we are able to get down there and stay down there for the winter. So you can't even go over 1 day. You go over 1 day and there's problems. So we've counted the days, and I think the earliest we could leave is sometime around mid-October, just before mid-October. So we will be leaving, depending on the weather, sometime around then, just after the first week into the second week of October, which is fine. The weather is still quite nice here, and still enjoying it and still trying to catch up on last-minute things. Now, there's some things you don't want to do until about a week before anyway, and that's the major scrub down of everything. And the morning of, I'll wash the sheets and wash the pillows and, make sure that that's left clean and, leave the kitchen as clean as I can. I'm sure when I come back, there'll be dust. What are you going to do? You clean up again when you get here. But I want to leave it as well as I can. And I have left my key with a family member to be able to come in and water the few plants that I have whenever they could make it. So that's fine. That'll work out. It's a non-issue. So that's basically where we stand. And of course, my mind is on what chores we have to do, what plants. You certainly can put some things in the ground in the fall. So I'll see what I can do there. My little fig trees that I planted in pots, I can see them with my cameras. And there was a dry spell there, and they dropped a lot of leaves. They're not dead. They still have some leaves, most of the young ones. And so I'm sure that the plant itself will survive, and I'm sure that they probably are going to drop most of or all of the leaves for the winter. So they are large enough, probably about 1 foot to 2 feet tall, some of them. So it's a matter of determining where I want to put those in the ground, and I probably will put those in the ground this fall so that they can stabilize and hopefully survive where I plant them. And during the dormant season, I will be taking lots of cuttings off that large fig tree. It has not been properly cut back in a long time, many years. So even though it is producing a lot of figs, they do produce on a new growth, and it is way above I mean, I'm not going to get on a ladder, so I will be cutting down quite a bit and probably saving a lot of cuttings. We'll see how much I, save to start new plants, although I would like some variety as well. So, how many of the one type of variety do you want? So that is one of my big chores, is replanting those fig trees. I'm hoping my bay tree, I can't see my bay tree from the camera, hoping that that has survived the critters. I think it has. I don't think that the deer will eat a bay leaf, but who knows. I have not had any dealings with deer until this home, and through my cameras I can see that they're pretty much there daily now, because there is no humans on that property, and because it's wooded on either side and behind me, behind the house. We have a bit of wooded area behind the house that we own, and of course there's a wooded area on either side, so it's definitely a home for the deer. Across the street is more built up, but where I am, it's not, which is part of why we like it. But the deer have come out, and they don't seem to be shy at all. Probably looking for a nibble here and a nibble there. I've seen a mother and baby deer, and I've seen young male deers. So almost every day there's a deer now. So interesting. I wonder if they will skedaddle the minute that we arrive. Quite likely. And yeah, possums and raccoons and, pretty much just wildlife, and about 4 different little kitty cats, little mature cats. And hopefully they are keeping all the mice at bay. So hopefully I will be able to document some of the repairs as we go along. There's certain things that we want to get done during the time frame that we're there. Some of them are, it's going to be a long, slow process, because I don't really want to get into any serious debt, and a lot of it will depend on finances. So, don't want to do things unless there are funds available to do it. So we're going to be very cautious there. Anyway, if funds were unlimited, would be awesome. We could probably get all the work done that we want in the 6 months and come back to a fully renovated home next year, but that's not the way it's going to go. It'll take us a few years. But that's okay too. We don't have any issues with that. And it's certainly looking forward to taking the trip down south. Now, there's very little for me to do here. There's no canning that I want to get done. There's no special food prep. I've done as much shopping as I want for meat. I think I have enough meat to last until we leave, so that we can cook a meal every single night. I do have some food in the pantry that we can make use of. I've got to, and I've started to do that today, clean out the refrigerator with things that will not last. So I want to leave that relatively mildly empty. There are a few things that you can leave there. And things like eggs, well, I could make deviled eggs for Mark. He loves those. He could eat, half a dozen of them all at once. But I'll be cautious not to feed him too many of them in one sitting. So, but yeah, before we leave, I'll finish off, hard-boiled eggs, make deviled eggs, whatever the case is, so I don't have to leave those. Things like onions, and I do have a whole big bag of onions I'll leave them with somebody else so that they don't go rotten in my fridge. So those are the kind of things I have to consider. Getting all the laundry done, getting the fridge cleaned. Being away 1 month is not a bad deal. You don't have to worry about that. But being away 6 months, there are certain things that I have to think of, take care of financing, and trying to do everything online now, which is good. I can pay all my bills online. I can, as a matter of fact, we were a little bit concerned about one of the issues, which was insurance, and all of a sudden they want to do things online. So now I can even get those documents online, which is perfect. So I've had the insurance documents down south online, and I pay for those online, but up here in Canada it was always by mail. Not anymore. Canada Post seems to be a dying entity here because there's just so many other companies that are better equipped at dropping off parcels and mail, and so I think, and a lot of companies are now turning to electronic mail, so that I think Canada Post is in trouble, and that's fine. If I can get everything electronically, it doesn't really matter where I am, whether I'm here or whether I'm down south, so that's a blessing. I've been able to pay my hydro bill down south online, which is good. You know, you have to be able to take care of those things so that you don't run into a problem. Anyway, I am, as I said, my mind is establishing what I have to get done before I go. And unfortunately, there isn't too much in the way of canning, too much in the way of food prep. We're just, Mark's still trying to do some fishing. If he does catch a salmon before we go, I'll probably be canning up some salmon or making salmon fillets. And we're just trying to eat simply and not make too much of a fuss. So that's it for now. I did want to touch base. I know it's been a while since I put out a video. Hopefully there'll be a whole lot more exciting very soon. And anyway, I'm here. I'm good. I'm fine. I miss you all. And I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.